everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea. It's nice to have you guys here today. I thought I would do a get ready with me just for work. So it is Thursday. I'm going to teach in a little bit. So this is just a kind of typical makeup and hair look for a day spent in the classroom. So I have filmed how I style my hair, the products I use on my hair right now, and then my kind of typical everyday makeup routine. I rotate out the products that I use on a daily basis, kind of seasonally, or just whenever I feel like I want to use a different highlighter or a different blush or something. So this will show you kind of what I've been using pretty much for the last couple months. I think I kind of switched things up after the holidays. Yeah, so that's what this is going to be. So I will now transition back to a little bit ago with wet hair and no makeup and walk you through the process of what I use on my hair and what I wear on my face and how I do my routine start to finish. So far I've just washed my hair and then I've had it up in a microfiber hair turban for the past hour-ish, a little bit more, while I had breakfast and coffee and watched some YouTube videos and just kind of relaxed. Now I'm going to use my 7 Seconds Leave-In Conditioner by Unite to help detangle it. So I'm just going to spritz that all over, and then I'm going to grab my wet brush. Okay, so now there's my hair brushed. Now I'm going to put in, and this is a newer product, I've only used it a couple times, so I can't I don't have any definitive opinions on it. This is Not Your Mother's Blonde Moment Seal and Protect Leave-In, which is supposed to protect and enhance blonde tones, conditions with violet rice for everyday use. Sulfate and paraben free for natural and color treated blonde hair shades. So kind of liked that. So I'm just gonna spray this again, kind of concentrating on my lengths. Now it's time to blow dry. So when I start, I just do a rough dry all the way until I get it all the way around the head until I get it to about 75% dry, and then I section it out and finish it. Okay, so now it's semi-dry. So at this point, I brush it out again. Now I section it out, and I don't worry about my part just yet. So I've got 2 of these clips that I got from Sephora. I section off the crown, and then I section off from kind of right above the ears. Then I take my round brush and I just start smoothing out and finishing off the blowout. Okay, so I will have edited this down, but from when I started filming to now, it's only been just about 14 minutes. So it doesn't take me that long. Now that my hair is this length, it is a million times easier and faster to dry and style. I'm just gonna I don't have my blonde oil, so I'm gonna use my brunette oil. I'm still kind of half and half. Got some lighter ends, but I also have darker roots. So I just poured about a pea-sized amount, and I'm spreading it around my hands, and then I just go through kind of very loosely, spread it through. Okay, so that is the hair more or less done. Now it's time for makeup. I'm just going to kind of loosely put this back with an Invisibobble. So I've got 2 spots at the moment, one here and one up here, and I don't really like putting makeup over them. So what I tend to do is use my Acne Dote pimple patches from Alba Botanica. Really love these. I was wearing these yesterday, and I like them because, number one, it keeps them clean and keeps them from getting just dirt and oil and smog and just crap that's in the air during the day. So they're good from that perspective, but then because of my anxiety, I've always been a picker. So I will touch and mess with blemishes. It's completely unconscious. I don't even know I'm doing it half the time, but it does tend to make them worse and make it and then it takes them longer to heal. So I've just found that with these, it just is so much easier and keeps them from getting really irritated and infected and makes them go away a lot faster and reduces the overall scarring. So I love those. So I've still got my makeup drawer, my everyday makeup drawer, and I rotate products in and out. So I did do a video on that before, but now I will show you kind of what is currently in there. So I tend to do brows, eyes, and then base. So I have recently tinted my brows. They don't need a whole lot. I'm just gonna go in with the Allure Fleur de Force brow palette and use the lighter of the two shades instead of the dark. When my brows aren't tinted, I use the dark side, but since they are tinted, I just need a little bit of extra depth and dimension. Don't need them to be made that much darker. Then I'm going to use some primer potion, just really quickly, just a little bit. And then for today, I try to let myself have fun. If I've got time, and like I've got time today, I don't have to rush out in 5 minutes. So I have been trying to like rotate through my palettes and not just go to the same one shadow. Today I think I'm going to play with my Pretty Vulgar Phoenix Rising palette. I think I'm going to use Fierce Desire, which is this one on the end, all over, and then use the Fly By Night, which is this matte purple, dark purplish burgundy. Use that as a liner. So I'm just going to take a brush. My brushes need to be cleaned so badly. I like the shade because it's just a really pretty kind of coppery shade. Kind of in between that copper and rose gold. Okay, and then I'm going to take a smudge brush. I'm going to go in with one of the lighter shimmer shades and just kind of smudge out the crease. I'm not darkening it, I'm just smudging it and fading it into a slightly lighter color, just to kind of diffuse it up onto the brow bone a little bit. So now I'm going to take the liner shade with the liner brush, kind of press and smudge that into the lash line. I've been really liking using dark matte eyeshadows as eyeliner a lot lately. So now I'm using the Rimmel Extra Super Lash Mascara. This is one of my favorite mascaras. I've talked about this a few times over the last few years that I've had this channel. It's just it's the one that I've repurchased the most. I always have a tube of it in my collection. I need to go get some more because this is the last one that I currently have. It's just, I think, just as good as some of the more expensive mascaras. Like, I am a mascara addict, so I will always like pay money to try new mascaras, but I always come back to this one. I just can get really good separation and definition between the lashes, makes them a little bit longer. It's not super volumizing, but I still really love the look of this. And when I want super volume in my lashes, I put on a pair of false lashes anyway. I've not found that any of the mascaras I've tried have truly like given me that false lash look. So if you're looking for a really good mascara that doesn't break the bank, I really recommend this one. I've gotten it at Target before in a 2-pack, so 2 for $5, and you really can't beat that price. There is my eyes done. Sometimes I wear lashes, sometimes I don't. I have no problem wearing false lashes to teach in. It's just sometimes I don't have the time to put them on, or I just don't feel like putting them on. So now it's time for base. So I'm going to use the Ordinary Serum Foundation. Tamsin brought this to me last summer, and I didn't use it very much at first, but I've been using it a lot lately. And I have shade 1.1N, which is Fair Neutral. Oh, I forgot this had SPF in it. SPF 15. You just have to shake it. And then this is It's not super high coverage, but it is higher coverage than I usually wear. So I'm just putting a tiny little amount on my fingertip here, which I'm then going to dot around my face. I find that between how high coverage it is and the fact that I do dermaplaning, or have dermaplaning done, I don't need a whole lot of this. So I've got my oval brush from Primark, and I'm just going to blend this in. I need to be careful with my little patch. I don't want to get makeup on that, because that will affect how well it works. So I'm just going to be very careful around where I've put those patches. So I like this foundation because if I build it up, I can get a really high coverage look. But if I just do kind of like a half a pump on my fingers and then dot it around and then blend it out, it just really nicely seems to even out my skin tone. Make sure that's blended down my jaw nicely. So I don't concentrate a whole lot under my eyes because I'm going to put concealer there. So I'm still using and loving my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector in shade light to medium. This is great with foundation if I'm doing kind of a full face look, but it's also really good if I'm not wearing any makeup at all and I just want to put something under my eyes. It just covers up the little bit of dark circles that I have and brightens up the eye area nicely. I'm lucky I don't really, okay, I don't know where that cut out. I'm really irritated. I can't see the camera as well because I don't have my glasses on. So if you've missed it, I think it was still getting my eyes. So I think it's just the base. I used the Ordinary Serum Foundation as my base and then blended it in with my PS Pro Oval Brush from Primark in this size. And then I put on the Becca Under Eye Corrector Concealer and some Touche Éclat under my eyes. I also did Touche Éclat a couple bits on the forehead, down the nose, and on the chin, and blended those in with my slightly smaller PS Pro brush, so you can kind of see the size difference there. If you have a Primark near you, I'm jealous, but go buy these brushes. I also have a really little itty bitty one, and I like this one for getting into really small corners and stuff if I'm doing something really detailed. So that is kind of, nope, I didn't blend in the forehead. That's where it stopped. Or that's where my camera didn't just stop recording, but it went dark. Sorry about that, guys. I can't see the little recording thing. So that is kind of the cream portion of the base done. Now I'm going to set that with my Hourglass powder. This is one of their ambient lighting powders in Ethereal Light. It's really pale. I find that it works kind of like a translucent powder for me. It's really good as a setting powder, but it does have just a little bit of not sparkle or shimmer, but just radiance, I guess you would say, in it. So it just still gives me a bit of that natural skin look, because your skin isn't matte naturally. It normally has a bit of a glow, so it kind of keeps that on my skin, which is nice, whereas a true translucent powder just kind of gives me a more matte effect. Right now I'm using the Bourjois, one of their blush pots. This is shade 42 Rose Blossom. I love Bourjois blush pots. They're very similar, I think, to Hourglass blushes. They've got that bit of shimmer, bit of dimension, really nice color. Love them. Blend that out. And then for highlight, I've been using the Tarte, this was their Spellbound Glow Rainbow Highlighter. This was the only rainbow highlighter I got during that whole rainbow highlighter craze. Was that last year? I think that was almost 2 years ago now. Crazy how time flies. So I just kind of blend that in along the upper part of my cheekbone, a little bit on the tip of my nose and my Cupid's bow, and then a little bit along my brow bone. Put my glasses on and check. Lipstick I definitely need lipstick. Will I wear one of the ones that's in my handbag, or will I wear something else? What do I have around here? Lipstick on teaching days is always a struggle because it needs to be comfortable or I won't bother wearing it and reapplying it throughout the day. I'm still kind of in the mood for wintry colors. Maybe I'll try. It is warming up. It's going to be 74 today or something like that. Yeah, I think this will work. This is my little mini of the NARS Velvet Lip Glide in the shade Bound. I got this in a play box, I believe. I really like the formula of this. It's not a super glossy lip product, but it's not super matte, but it's really comfortable and it wears really well throughout the day. Bound is a slightly darker shade. I don't tend to wear this much in the summer, so I am tempted to get this product in a lighter, more summery shade because I do like it. So that is makeup done. Now let's do jewelry. I still wear my piercing studs to sleep and kind of throughout the day if I'm not wearing other earrings. I'll put my rings on. I think I'm gonna go with these silver earrings that my sister got me for Christmas. They're just a little kind of studs. They've got one solitaire stone and then a few little bitty stones at the top. A little bit of extra sparkle. Can't really beat that. And then I don't think I'm going to wear a necklace today because it is going to be a little bit warmer. Or actually, no, take that back. I'm going to wear my little Faith necklace. So it just says Faith and then it's got a little stone. It's a mix of silver and rose gold. So I kind of like wearing that. Because I don't know, I used to be very much, if I was wearing rose gold, then everything had to be rose gold. If I was wearing silver, then everything had to be silver. And now I find that I've been mixing my metals a lot more. Okay, so that's, that's kind of the finished look. It's very basic, but I found that with this foundation, I'm able to get a little bit more coverage and feel like I am wearing makeup without it being too heavy. So I really am liking the serum foundation. I've been wearing it a lot more. Really liking how it's turning out, how it wears. So, and how it wears throughout the day. At the end of the day, it still looks pretty good. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was at least a little bit interesting. I'm not a makeup expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I also know that I like watching videos like this, people doing their makeup who are normal people like me and not beauty gurus or, you know, makeup experts. For me, makeup is just a bit of fun and something that I enjoy playing with, but I don't take that seriously and am by no means even remotely an expert. But this is just the kind of basic look that helps me feel a little bit more confident in the classroom and feel like I look a little bit more awake than I sometimes am, especially by the afternoon and evening when I start teaching. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Subscribe if you are not subscribed. I would really appreciate that. And I will see you all soon in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye-bye.